which he produced The Crucible, a play about the Salem witch trials. That play opened during the hearings of the House Un-American Activities Committee, and the parallels were striking. A few years later, he heard from the committee himself. They wanted to ask him about some left-wing meetings he had gone to.
They wanted you to name names.
Yeah.
And what'd you say to them?
I said, look, I'll tell you about me, but I'm not going to tell you about anybody else. What are we talking about? We're talking about actors, a few playwrights. Most of them were actors, directors. What earthly effect could these people have on security in the United States or anything else?
It was during this time that Miller divorced his first wife, Mary, and his impending marriage to Marilyn Monroe became headlines in the tabloids. Miller maintains that his appearance before that committee, in a strange way, had more to do with Marilyn than with the committee's search for communists.
Chairman Walter proposed to my lawyer just before the hearing began that if it could be arranged for him to take a photograph with Marilyn, he'd call off the whole thing.
The congressman wanted a photograph with Marilyn Monroe.
That's with himself.
Yes.
In the picture. We could have aborted the whole thing in 5 minutes. So
and
that's
why
why
do it.
Yeah. And I didn't do it.
Their marriage caused a sensation. Arthur Miller moved from the theater pages to the gossip columns. He wrote about her, "I never saw her unhappy in a crowd. Her stardom was her triumph, nothing less. It was her life's achievement. The simple fact, terrible and lethal, was that no space existed between herself and this star. She was Marilyn Monroe, and that was what was killing her."
You knew that it was doomed.
I didn't know it was doomed, but I certainly felt it had a good chance to be.
You said to her, "I keep trying to teach myself how to lose you, but I can't learn yet." And she says, "Why must you lose me?"
Well, it just shows you the power of instinct over what's left of your brains at such moments when you're being drawn to someone and you sense that it may not work and you can't stop it anyway.
Your face changes when you talk about her.
Excuse me?
Your face changes when you talk about her.
In what way?
Well, I think you're still... Those were tough years. Wonderful years and terrible years.
Sure. They were. Oh, there was a lot of pain. Certainly for her, and certainly for me.
Wow, what did it do to you?
Well, it's a defeat. It always is. She was full of the most astonishing turns and revelations about people. She was a super sensitive instrument. And that's exciting to be around until it starts to self-destruct.
And you and Marilyn were divorced when?
About 61.
And you married Inga a year later?
Yeah, later, yeah.